How's it going, everybody? This is Jose from the Stock Market 101 channel, and I hope you guys are having a great day. And as always, if you guys haven't checked out my latest videos, I suggest you go check them out real quick. And let's get right into it. So I was just reading over some articles, and I found over this one right here, which really caught my attention, and I wanted to share with you guys. And this is 5 marijuana stocks with the highest expected sales next year. So basically, I'm going to be going over this. And if you want to read this article for yourself, so I'll always have all the articles that I have in my videos down in the description below if you want to check it out. So let's get right into it. On October 17th, 2018, recreational marijuana will go on sale in our neighbors to the north, making Canada the first industrialized country in the world to legalize adult use weed. As you can probably imagine, legalizing pot is expected to yield some potentially huge dollar figures for the industry and hopefully for investors who place their hard-earned money into marijuana stocks as well, though estimates vary wildly, as would be expected since no developed country has done what Canada is doing. The legal weed industry could net in the neighborhood of $5 billion in added annual sales, but where these sales will wind up is what remains the great mystery. So the first one we have here is, you guys probably would have guessed it already, is Canopy Growth, which is expected to make $687.8 million in sales. Canopy Growth is one of the largest marijuana stocks by market cap, also has the highest expected sales next year, according to Wall Street. Canopy Growth operates on a different fiscal year than most of its peers, so this projection is for 2020. Canopy Growth has two factors working in its favor. First, it has 5.6 million square feet of production capacity that is expected to have licensed in British Columbia in the not so distant future. Health Canada has already given the green light to 2.4 million square feet of production space, which should give the company more than ample capacity to nab significant recreational market share when the green flag is waved. Canopy Growth also has the most recognizable cannabis brand throughout Canada. With pot stocks now turning their attention to brand building, Canopy appears to have stepped up on its competition. And the next one we have here is Aphria. Aphria is expected to deliver more than $356 million in sales by the fiscal 2019 year. This healthy revenue total is expected to derive from two key projects hitting their completion dates in January 2019. The first project, Aphria One, is the company's flagship organic build-out. This 4-phase expansion is costing Aphria in excess of $100 million, but will eventually span about 1 million square feet of production capacity and yield around 100,000 kilograms. The second project is known as Aphria Diamond and involves a joint venture between Aphria and Double Diamond Farms. Aphria is in the process of retrofitting vegetable growing greenhouses for cannabis production, which saves a lot of time and money as opposed to building a new greenhouse from the ground up. When complete, this 1.2 million square foot facility should yield around 120,000 kilograms annually. And the next one on the list is Aurora Cannabis. Aurora Cannabis is expected to hit $343.5 million in sales. Aurora Cannabis, a company that, though organic buildouts, partnerships, and acquisitions, looks to be on track to produce more cannabis a year than any other grower at 570,000 kilograms. So why isn't this number one cannabis company in terms of expected revenue next year? It very well could be as simple as the different start times for fiscal years between Canopy Growth and Aurora. If we strictly compared fiscal 2019's, then Aurora has the edge over Canopy Growth. However, Canopy has already moved onto its fiscal 2019 year, whereas Aurora Cannabis has not. What should be interesting is how Aurora's margins hold up, given its announced focus on the medical cannabis market. Though the recreational weed market has a much larger patient pool, medical patients should present with a better long-term margins, given their desire used for high-margin alternatives cannabis products, such as oils. Assuming Aurora Cannabis devotes a notable portion of its production to alternative products and exports to foreign markets, it should have a genuine opportunity to make its revenue stretch further than its peers. And the next one we have here is GW Pharmaceuticals. The only non-grower on this list is the cannabinoid-based drug developer GW Pharmaceuticals. Sales for the company are expected to catapult from just $19.2 million in 2018 to $152.2 million next year. The big catalyst for GW Pharmaceuticals was the approval of the cannabinoid-based drug Epidiolex on June 25th by the US Food and Drug Administration. This therapy, which is the first cannabis-derived drug to get the green light from the FDA, is designed to treat two rare types of childhood-onset epilepsy known as Dravet syndrome and Lennox-Gastaut syndrome. Since there were no other FDA-approved treatments for the Dravet syndrome prior to this approval, GW Pharmaceutical looks to have a clear path to success. Even though the company has what it looks like a clear path to the launch out of the gates, competition from the Zeogenic could be right around the corner in the Dravet syndrome. It remains to be seen how well a cannabis-derived drug could hold up against a more traditional pharmaceutical product if Zeogenic's lead drug is approved by the FDA. The last one is Cantrust Holdings. Cantrust Holdings is expected to generate a little over $124 million in sales next year. The primary growth driver of Cantrust is the expansion of its Niagara greenhouse facility. At the end of June, the company announced the official opening of 450,000 square feet of hydroponic growing capacity, with another 600,000 square feet on the way. When the greenhouse is operating at full capacity, more than 100,000 kilograms of annual yield is expected. What's particularly intriguing about Cantrust, other than its focus on alternative pot products, is its development of a perpetual harvesting system that moves containerized benches at its Niagara facility. In less fancy terminology, it means steadier crop production and harvesting. This harvesting system should help keep Cantrust's growing costs well below its peers. So there you have it. That's the top 5 marijuana stocks with the highest expected sales next year. Do you guys agree with this list? Let me know in the comments. Would you replace some of them with another company such as Tilray? But since Tilray just IPO'd just a couple months ago, Wall Street hasn't really had an expected revenue for its next year. So we're gonna have to find out later on. Let me know if you own any of these 5 cannabis companies. And other than that, please like, subscribe, turn post notifications on, and I'll see you guys in the next one.